optional unit. You don't have to watch this video. It's about your personal use. It doesn't apply to video professionals, but a lot of students ask me about, well, I download all this music at home all the time and it doesn't seem like a bad thing to me. Why are you saying that this is against the law? And I stream movies, or I use torrents and things like that. There's a lot of issues to discuss in that area, but if you'd like to learn a little bit of how copyright law applies to you in your personal life, not when you're being a professional video producer, but personal use of music, then this lesson will at least cover a few basics of that. So personal versus professional is different ways of using media. Anytime you store or copy media, it is illegal unless you have the rights to do it. If you own a CD, for instance, and you rip that CD to the computer and then you listen to it from the computer, that's legal because you own the CD and you're not listening to the CD at the same time that you're listening to the track on the computer. If, however, you ripped the CD's tracks to the computer and then gave someone else the CD, then you've made a copy and you have stolen the rights for this record company to make money from that CD by creating a copy that someone else then owns as well. That's illegal. So basically, if you're copying media, you're at the risk of breaking the law. And will this law ever be enforced? The truth is, you can be fined. I think it's $50,000 per illegal use, which can add up to a lot of money really fast. Are very many people fined for this? No, not very many. That's certainly true. But better be safe than sorry. There have been lawsuits. Young people have been brought to court by recording industry for breaking copyright law. As a rule of thumb, if you didn't pay for it, then you probably stole it. If you're watching a movie and you didn't pay for that movie somehow, you paid for the streaming service and you watched it that way, or you paid for the cable company, you paid for the satellite company, you paid for something. If you paid for it, then it's legal. If you didn't pay for it, chances are you're breaking the law by watching that movie. Is there a record of this? How do people know that you broke the law? Well, your internet service provider has a record of every single thing you've ever downloaded using their internet access. You pay a monthly fee to your internet service provider to get internet access to your house, and they have a record of everything you've ever gotten through their internet service. They don't want to give up that record because you're their customer. They want to keep you, but they can be subpoenaed. If a film company wants to find out what movies you've downloaded, they have probable cause to think that you've been breaking the law by downloading their music, they can get a court to order a subpoena of your ISP who has to give them the records of what you've downloaded. And that's evidence that can be used against you in trial. Not usually used. These kind of trials don't happen very often, but there's always a risk. Now, some music artists encourage sharing of their work. There's plenty of records out there that are posted on the internet, and the artist will say, yeah, please share this, give it to your friends. This is free for people to use. They're trying to get their name out there, for instance. Well, okay, those artists make that decision, and you can do that, but not all artists make that decision. In fact, the majority of music artists are still saying they want you to actually purchase their work. They want you to buy it. That's how they make their living. They're professional artists. They should be compensated for their work. So anytime you download it without paying for it, then you've stolen from them. If you're a professional video producer, you can't take the risk of doing any of these things. You can't jeopardize your job by breaking these laws. If for your own personal use, well, you just have to decide how comfortable you are doing this with yourself and the privacy of your own home, and keep in mind that you might be living with parents who are paying the bill for your ISP. Do they know what you're doing with this computer? And since they're paying the bill, maybe they should. Just putting that out there. So that's your professional life, not your personal life, or excuse me, your personal life, not professional life. So make the best decisions for you and yourself, but when you're a video producer, make the decisions that you have to as a professional video producer.